So the summer has come to an end for us and we have to head back to the UK. We've had a great time this summer, albeit short, and unfortunately we just had a major problem actually. We've got like a little off valve on the toilet, so you can sort of turn it off when we leave. Now for some reason that valve had started turning freely. We'd already had to use like a pair of pliers to do it, which we should have changed the tap. The water was off in the village at the time, so I couldn't tell whether it was leaking or was any problems or anything, so I had to quickly run down to like the kind of hardware place, which is about 20 minutes drive, and I grabbed a new tap and quickly fitted it, and luckily the water came back up as I was doing it. I mean, we do have a water system here, but I turned the pump off and the tank and everything, emptied everything, so there was no water for me to test it with, but luckily the water came back up. We don't appear to have any leaking. Our neighbours are going to keep an eye on it, but I needed to fix it because I didn't want to leave a big problem that they would have to deal with if suddenly there was a massive leak in the bathroom. But yeah, so we are basically probably about, well, we wanted to leave at 9, it's now getting on near to 12, so we're probably nearly 3 hours late, but we're heading to Vidin, and we're staying there the night before we head on through Romania tomorrow. So we've chosen to go to Vidin because Vidin does have like a big bridge between Bulgaria and Romania, and the Ruse bridge is much smaller. And the issue is they're currently working on it, so it's half closed. So we've had a lot of problems. We had problems coming over, so we've decided that we're going to have a look at Vidin, try it out, because we really want to see the place. And we also thought, you know, so it's a place to see, and we're going to go and so we're going to go back that route instead. So we'll be heading to Vidin tonight. Tomorrow we'll be heading to Budapest, stopping there for a day. So then we'll be heading on to Nuremberg, stopping there for a day, and finally heading on to Ypres in Belgium, which was kind of like the best priced place close to the Channel coast. So we're going to head on there. We should be there Thursday evening, and then Friday morning we'll be heading across the Channel back into the UK. So yeah, we're going to we're basically shut up the house, saying goodbye to people, and then we're heading on back to the UK. So let's get it done, I suppose. Down the road, well, we headed off a little while ago. We are, I don't know, like we're basically just heading along some back roads because we're not going our usual route. So we're not driving up to Ruse and then crossing the border over the Friendship Bridge, which never looks that friendly to me. But yeah, there's a lot of roadworks on it, and you know, although it's an open border now, we're just going to have loads of problems with roadworks on the bridge. So yeah, we just thought we're going to go towards Vidin. We've never seen Vidin before, so we'd love to see Vidin anyway. Yeah, unfortunately we didn't expect to have a massive plumbing incident just before we left. I mean, went to turn the toilet off as we do every year, because we had one year while we were away, the toilet had been sort of filling constantly almost, and we had quite a large bill. I think something like 900 lev or something water bill, so it was pretty bad. And Yeah, and although the neighbours keep an eye on it, I think they just couldn't, you know, it wasn't making a big enough noise for them to detect that there was an issue there. Do you know what I mean? So anyway, we fixed it. We got away about 11:45 or something like that. So we're going to arrive in Vidin round about 5ish. So it's not too bad. I mean, we'll get to see hopefully Vidin. It's supposed to be sunny. We're more likely to encounter rain as we go through back to the UK. So the closer we get to the UK, you know, it's probably going to rain. It's looking like Budapest is good for a day out there. Nuremberg doesn't look good at the moment, but you never know if it'll change. Yeah, so we're going to basically be driving across the top of northern Bulgaria, going through Pleven. I don't know where else. Is it Stara Zagora? Do we go through that way? I don't know if I'm just making stuff up. I don't know. Just places I remember roughly. But yeah, we've never been to Vidin. We've never been through that border. We've been through a Serbian border near there, but we've never been through the Romanian border there. So we're looking forward to going to Vidin. It's sad to leave, but you know, saying goodbye to the neighbours, and yeah, you know, it's sad. It's always sad when you have to go, but we'll be back. And yeah, so we're heading down the road, and it's kind of back roads a bit at the moment, before we get to near Biala, I think. So anyway, we're going to crack on, and we're not going to go any faster. We're not going to try and make up time, because we just want to treat this car with kid gloves, because basically this car, you know, it's still got the coolant warning on. It still doesn't 100% feel or sound right to me. It's making sort of like whooshy noises and stuff with the engine, but we have driven like that for a long time. So hopefully, now that the wheel bearing's sorted and the brakes were sorted, hopefully still sorted, and we've had no issues while we've been in Bulgaria. So yeah, touch brush metal, cross fingers, you know, fingers crossed. Let's just hope that we don't encounter any more issues, because we don't really have a lot of scope for breaking down, really. So, you know, we're hoping that those are behind us. But fingers crossed, we are heading on, and it's quite a nice little scenic route this way. So yeah, we're kind of looking forward to it a bit. Probably a lot less traffic, hopefully, as well. update on our progress. We've now joined the main road, or sort of main road, from Rousset, and we're heading towards, I think it's Biala or Plevin, might be Plevin, not sure. But yeah, basically we joined the main road now. We're on the back roads. The road numbers over here, they kind of work on, like, you know, this is like a single digit number, so like it's a main road. Then if you have like a 2-digit number, it's a bit less than a main road, and then if you have a 3-digit number, it's kind of like not as good. And then I think we were on a 4-digit number before, although to be fair, it was very nice. Quality roads. They seem to have been resurfaced like quite recently. Definitely a lot better this year roads wise, I'd say. Not many potholes about, lots of tarmac have been replaced, and you know, maybe some sections hadn't had the lines put on them yet, but they, you know, one area we saw the lights go on where we were, so that was pretty good. So yeah, it's going well. And they were resurfacing something just before we came out onto this main road. So yeah, it's been quite a few years since we've been down this way. This is the way we would normally come to Sofia, I think, or sometimes we've come this way, sometimes we've gone another road. But anyway, this is yeah, it's a bit like a walk down memory lane, and well, drive down memory lane. Temperature's only about about 25.5 to 26 outside, so not a bad temperature. We had a rainstorm yesterday that seemed to clear everything a little bit. The only issue with that is that there's a lot of weather about, although it's very sunny and clear at the moment. But it's just that feeling that, you know, you never know, like tonight in Vidin you might end up with that bing was for the brake light. You know, for some reason the back brake light sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Another problem we got. But yeah, you know, we might have some thunder, or who knows, you know, hoping that it'll be nice and clear and we can enjoy Vidin in the evening. But yeah, I mean, we were talking just before we came back on camera just about how for the last couple of years at least we just had issues with cars, and it's been quite stressful, because it's a shame that we're not driving back with the feeling of just driving back. You know, really everything becomes about, will this car make it? And it feels, you know, I don't know, there's definitely something, whether the car, yeah, I don't know. Like, a weird thing that I feel with this car is that, and I felt it in Slovakia when we were driving over and other places, sometimes it feels loose. Like the acceleration feels a bit loose, everything feels a bit looser. The brakes sometimes, you know, like you almost feel like there's, I don't know, I can't quite describe it, but sometimes it feels tighter. And I wonder if that's like a transfer case issue, where it's sort of, you know, because that's obviously turning the wheels, and you know, maybe there's some sort of pressure and resistance there sometimes, and maybe this time there isn't as much, you know, maybe it's going, I don't know. So yeah, but anyway, at the moment we're still moving. We have breakdown cover as we always do, but yeah, for the last couple of years, I mean, when we left last year, the white BMW, the X5 F15, that it just didn't feel right. And you know, we were quite lucky, you know, we had lots of warnings and stuff. Someone was supposed to look at it, but they never showed. And we went, you know, we really only had a problem when we hit Holland. That was the crazy thing, you know, like in the Netherlands, across the border into the Netherlands, and then suddenly we heard like a horrible sound as we were coming up to a traffic jam, and we think it was something to do with the diff, because the diff later went, and yeah, so you know, we had that problem. We had oil problems with it when we came over. We discovered that it wanted a lot of oil and was leaking a lot of oil. I checked the oil actually further back, you know, on the computer iDrive thing, and which seems to be working again at the moment. Sometimes it locks up. That was saying maximum oil. Now I don't think it's always exactly maximum. It might, you know, it could be slowly leaking or whatever. But we haven't seen any oil, and we haven't had to put any in since we've been here. So yeah, it's kind of like you just gotta see what happens, I suppose. We can't really know what's gonna happen. Do you know what I mean? It's just pure luck. You know, you can get cars ready for trips and they go wrong. You can, you know, not get them ready, like in this case where we struggled to get stuff fixed before we left. Admittedly, that was mainly bulbs and stuff at first, and you know, the wheel bearing noise really sort of only became majorly apparent very close to leaving, if not during. Anyway, we're going through, is this Biala?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going through Biala now, and yeah, we're just gonna sort of try and go nice and calm, but of course we will hit autobahns at some point, and we need to go at relative speed. We can't just sort of go 30 miles an hour or something, so but we're gonna be going careful, but yeah, I just hope that there isn't anything sinister, because we just don't know, and but we're just going, you know, we've got our fingers crossed. Yeah, we don't want any of these dramas. It's probably good for content, but it's not so nice when you're actually driving these things, and yeah, and you're actually sort of not wanting to have like a few hours sat by the road waiting for, you know, a breakdown guy to arrive. So yeah, hopefully that won't be the case, and that we have a, you know, nice event, you know, eventless trip, but maybe with some nice like kind of days out rather than, you know, days out at the BMW garage. So yeah, we're gonna head on. We're just passing through Biala, and we probably now will be coming out of Biala soon. So yeah, we're heading on. the 3 now at Pleven. It's the first time we've ever come off this way, but basically we don't know if it's the first time. We might have done this overnight once and we don't remember, but we'd have been going the other direction. But no, we were heading towards Pleven. Normally when we go towards Sphere, which was normally the way we'd be going if we were going this way, we would turn off and then kind of head off on another biggish road towards Sofia, but we've been turned off now onto the 13, which is towards Vratsa. So it wasn't Stara Zagora. I don't know where I got that from. I mean, I don't know if that is on this route, but I'm not sure exactly where that is in Bulgaria. But we are heading towards Vratsa, I think, which may be before Vidin. So I'm guessing that's the next route. I don't know. Do we go through Vratsa? Do we know?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we're going to go through Vratsa. But yeah, we're on a different road again, and the number's gone down. Yeah, well, gone up. It's number 13, so it's a 2-digit number. So that means this road won't be quite as good as the last one, although the other one was in a bit of disrepair. So...
I know we go above Vratsa.
Oh, we go above Vratsa, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so we're heading on. Not much more has happened. Car still feels a bit ropey to me. I don't know if that's just in my head or reality. But after all the breakdowns, you know, it's what you're going to feel. I keep thinking I smell a weird smell whenever I'm near, you know, whenever we've slowed down, which I don't know again if it's other cars and things like that around us. But anyway, you know, I don't want to, if we break down, we'll break down. But, you know, you can't just go over things in your head all the time, I think, because you just don't know. Keep an eye on warnings, you know, if you can see them. The iDrive probably is working, I'm not sure. And yeah, it seems like quite a quiet road. It's a quite basic road, but it's been re-tarmacked by the looks of it. So, although it looks like it's coming to an end further up here, which is a bit of a pain. But anyway, I'm going to have to stop now because it's getting hot in the car. It's about 27 outside. It's sort of been around 27, 28, and it gets hot in the car when I close the window so I can go on the camera. But yeah, we've just gone back onto the other road, you know, the old bit of the road, I'm guessing. It looks a bit more pothole ridden. Anyway, we're moving on. We're heading towards Vratsa, and it's saying we've got just under 3 hours to go to Vidin. just gone past some town. I don't know what it was called now, but we've just come out onto this road, and yeah, look at it. Just looks amazing. They're like, I don't know if those are mountains up ahead, like mountains up on the left. I mean, hopefully the camera's picking it up. But you've got like kind of one edge to it right at the end that just sort of drops down at like a very, you know, steep angle, and it's just kind of mad. I don't know where this is in Bulgaria really. I think we're getting, so we're sort of northwest, I think Rachel thought we were. Obviously we're heading to the northwest where Vidin is, but Vidin's sort of on a bit of Bulgaria that juts up into you know, where Romania is. It kind of follows the Danube, and yeah, just very striking. You know, you get some really nice sort of you know, I don't know, like landscape here really, and that's another example of it. We had some really nice stuff on the way back in sort of nearer where we are, but you know, where we were staying. But here, you know, we've never been to this part of the country before, and just like other parts we've been to, it's pretty nice looking, and yeah, there's always some really nice landscapes. It's very flat, I think, you know, like down in this part, so it's quite a big area flat, and then it must go to a really sort of mountainous area almost that it looks like over there. So yeah, big contrast between big open flat area and then wow, a big mountain area. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. But yeah, just thought I'd show that because I mean, hopefully it came out in the camera. But yeah, we thought we'd show that. We're still about 2 hours and a quarter from Vidin. Still sort of moving along okay, fingers crossed. Brushed metal or whatever this stuff is, brushed aluminium. We haven't got any wood anymore in this car. Yeah, so we're just going to keep plugging on. We're not planning to stop anywhere on the way, we're just planning to get straight to Vidin and then, you know, kind of see what we can do in Vidin when we get there. But yeah, heading on. A bit closer to that like kind of mountainy thing that we saw further back, or we might have saw, because we don't know if you saw it in the camera, but definitely getting closer now. Chloe's going a bit mental, so maybe it's got some mystical power of making kids go mental, which you probably don't need much to make them do that. But yeah, basically you've got you know, you've got a mountain and the definition's coming out a bit more now. You can see a bit more of it, I think. Although now we're going down around the corner and probably away from it and you won't be able to see it. But I don't know, I've liked this route so far. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's been very quiet, there's been hardly a car on the road. Yes, the roads haven't been maybe perfect, but for quite a while now the road's been nice and smooth, but with the odd bump, you know, not terrible. Do you know what I mean? And very little in the way of busyness. It's kind of done exactly what we wanted to do so far, which was to kind of have a lower altitude sort of drive across. And we knew in Romania there was going to be much hillier, much more going up and down, a lot of big trucks, you know, and we just didn't want the car to be sort of like screaming, using its engine, getting up a hill. And I think so far we've kind of had that. It has definitely helped in that respect. Again, never say never, because we don't know what's ahead. But yeah, very quiet. I know it's a Saturday, but there's hardly any traffic, hardly anything going on. Car felt a bit iffy then. It sounded a bit iffy then. There's definitely some issues with the gearing. We had that with our old E70 though, which was a petrol one, you know, this is diesel. And that one, you know, used to hold on to gears. It used to have gears going, you know, your res would go up to like 3,000 when you're trying to go down a biggish hill. This is quite a big hill. So suddenly I talk about hills and then a hill appears, as it does. But actually, I don't know, it's behaving no different to that other car, I suppose. And we never ever had any concerns with that car. That was the most sort of reliable car we've ever owned, probably. And it's just dropped its gear down again now. It's fine. I don't know. I mean, look, BMW said the transfer case would fail in Berlin. Who am I to argue with them? But we certainly haven't had it happen yet. I don't want to like chance fate or hope that it happens or anything. I don't want it to happen. I don't want them to be right. I want them to have been wrong. It was clearly a wheel bearing that was bad at the time, but they didn't pick up on that. So, and I think we did try and say it could be wheel bearing. Anyway, we're motoring along at the moment, fingers crossed. Touch brass, brushed metal, aluminium, hope for the best. We're being a bit kind of, I don't know, what's the word, superstitious about this stuff. We don't really believe in any of that, but still, you kind of want everything on your side, don't you? Anyway, we're heading on. It's now an hour and 50 minutes to Vidin. to Vidin. We rejoined the 1, I think, for a slight period, but it was like a bit scary because they were like using one side of the road for trucks and cars, and you know, it was pretty scary there. Nearly an accident in front of us where some car tried to pull out in front of a Turkish lorry. But yeah, roads aren't too bad. They got a bit busier again now. There are definitely people going this route. Seen a lot of car transporters, which, you know, obviously people are taking cars from Western Europe probably to Eastern Europe. You know, there's something that happens quite a lot. Yeah, we're about 44 minutes away from Vidin, and yeah, I mean, the road's been up and down. There's been like kind of weird roads where the road sunk on one side, and we haven't really seen that for ages in Bulgaria, but you can see it here. So yeah, I don't know, it seems a bit more lively in some of the villages and towns that we're passing through now. Sun's perked up a bit as well. It got a bit kind of dark cloudy for a brief bit. Still sunny cloudy, but kind of seemed a bit more ropey weather-wise. But yeah, not really much to report. Oh, the first garage I've seen, that's kind of a, you know, big brand, Shell up ahead. We were thinking that as we were driving earlier. We hadn't really seen anything since the last LiQWYD. That, you know, maybe they're around, but just not on the road. We haven't really seen any big garages, and there's a big Shell. So, oh, and the guy decided to turn at the last minute in front of us. Yeah, so yeah, it was kind of, you know, it's kind of been quite quiet, quite sort of, you know, almost like a sleepy Sunday, but it's actually Saturday. But that's probably not a bad thing. And we're just plugging away, and probably in about 40 minutes or so we should be at the hotel, hopefully, fingers crossed, touch brushed aluminium that we make it. There's no sign of anything at the moment, so that's good. But yeah, we're looking to get there round about just before 5:10, so that's earlier than expected. So it's actually been quicker a route than we thought. We usually add on like an hour or two, you know, for delays and stuff, but that hasn't really been an issue on this route. I think, sort of thinking that, you know, it's kind of a route that maybe we should have tried a long time ago, and we just haven't tried it yet. So got these split roads again, which is a bit worrying, because I guess if you just catch it wrong, you know, could you damage your tyre? Anyway, we're heading on, and we're not that far from Vidin, hopefully about 40 minutes away, and we're still hoping that there's some things to do in Vidin, some places to eat, and we can have a good look at the place. We're looking forward to the first stop really on the trip, and you know, yeah, let's make our way there now. have just arrived in the hotel in Vidin. We're in the Hotel Ponte. We have got like a pretty amazing room. We paid like £67. Can't believe what we've got really for it. And yeah, basically we've got like a whole sort of like living room area. So you've got like a TV there. You've got like a living room area there with Rachel and Emily and Chloe sat down. You've got some air conditioning up there, so that's all like remote controllable. You've got like a door, that's your entrance there. I think it's just a key. It wasn't a key card, was it?
No, it was a key.
Yeah, and we've got a desk here. So here we've got a desk, so you can sit down and write stuff if you want. This is room number 17 by the looks of it. And yeah, nice sofa area. Fridge down here, so I don't know if that's working. I plugged something in because it was unplugged, but hopefully it is now on. I think I can hear it on, so I think it is on. And then it's like a kind of corridor in between it and the rooms and stuff. In here we've got a bathroom that is got a mirror. It's quite nicely sort of redecorated, and well, I don't know if it's redecorated or if it's brand new, but it's really nicely decorated. You've got like a shaver socket and a hairdryer. That works. Not an issue for me, of course, with no hair. We've got a shower here which has like one of those rain showers, and also one of the showers that you can, like, you know, wash yourself individually. You know, I guess like, you know, you can hold that over yourself or wash a kid or something. I'm guessing the rain shower is meant to be the main shower, and that's really just if you want to wash like children under it or something. I don't know. Do you see that a lot in Europe actually, where they have like free standing showers that kind of, you know, don't make any sense, but usually they don't have the rain shower above it, which you know, is a good thing. Anyway, it's really nice. Just, it's quite a weird sort of little corridor room. It's quite a sort of long rectangle room, and you kind of just step into it. But to be honest, we've stayed in big chains and they've done like smaller spaces than that, believe me. Even in like a Mercure hotel where it was like meant to be, you know, 4-star hotel. In here you've got another air conditioner in the room, so you can keep this area and that area cool. You got another TV, so you got TV for bed. I expect the girls will be on the bed here, so they'll probably be sleeping on the bed, and I'll probably get stuck on the smaller bed. But looks like we've got towels and everything we need. I mean, so far, very impressed with this place. I think the reviews were pretty good, to be honest with you anyway. But yeah, really impressed with what I'm seeing, really. There's a wardrobe as well behind me, which I never find that I ever need them. I suppose it's if you want to like bring a suit or something with you, you know, you need to bring a coat or a suit or something. I don't think there's any kind of safe or anything like that, but you know, you've got a key to the door. We're only staying one night anyway, then we're heading on through Romania. But yeah, really impressed. Yeah, it's a separate door, I think, with a separate lock. Yeah, so you can even lock the door there. Don't know why you would do that. But I imagine actually, I suppose you could have some of the people sleeping out on the sort of like sofa. I imagine it's like a sofa bed type thing as well. Do you reckon that's what it is?
I'm not sure actually.
Well, I mean, you could definitely sleep on that. I mean, that one in Croatia that we stayed in, that Airbnb, I slept on the sofa just along it, didn't I? So you could definitely do that. But yeah, I mean, what do you think? I'm shocked at how good it was, wasn't it? We got let in the door, and we were just like, wow, this is way better than I was expecting. I didn't even know what we were expecting.
I was expecting to come into like a corridor to find another room.
Yeah, but when we booked it, what did we book? I thought it was like a double or a twin or something, or it was a family room, wasn't it? But
Family one.
yeah, I don't know what maybe we're confusing hotels, but if if in editing I can add a picture over of what we thought we were getting versus what we've got, I mean, it might be the same. I really don't know. Yeah, well, there was a double or twin, I remember, and we chose not to go for that. And then I think we might have gone for the apartment.
Yeah.
But when we looked at, I don't think we saw pictures like of how good
Not
it was. Yeah, like I mean, we're really shocked at how nice it is, and it's only £67. I mean, for the night. I mean, I know sometimes you'll find rooms for like 40 or 50 quid. You can do it, but I think this for £67 really good. And like right outside, there was like a sort of bar area. I don't know if I can just sort of peek through. But yeah, there was like a kind of bar restaurant-y area out there, which we might be going to later. We don't know. So, you know, you're right next to it. The only thing that was a bit weird was where we parked. We parked in the like kind of... We parked in the parking, but there wasn't really any spaces left. Apart from next to a taxi on the grass, and we weren't sure if that was really a space. So we parked in an area where you kind of like, almost like a lay-by, where you pull into it. And, yeah, we didn't, you know, like it didn't, I wasn't sure if we were parking in the right place, but I don't know. Nobody sort of went, oh, don't park there. But it is Bulgaria, so we might find in the morning that the car's been towed away or something crazy. I mean, hopefully not. Everybody seemed very friendly. Reception lady was really friendly. Yeah, I mean, I was so nervous about getting here. I think I don't know, when you get here, you're like, oh, I'm here. You know, a bit shocked we're here. That's mad. It shouldn't be the case, but you're almost quite shocked you're here just because we've had so many issues with the car on the way over. And of course, you know, we've driven it around a bit in Bulgaria, but not massively. We've had no issues with it, to be fair, but we haven't pushed it. So, you know, this was the first big drive since coming into Bulgaria. So, yeah, we're just a bit like shell-shocked that we didn't have a problem and, and that we made it fine. So, anyway, yeah, so really nice hotel, basically. And, yeah, we made it to Vidin, so, you know, can't believe it, really. Yeah. So yeah, really shocked that we made it to Vidin, and hopefully we're going to get to go out and take a look at some of the sites of Vidin. I don't think it's the biggest place or there's that much around, but you know, who knows? We're going to go and take a look and see what we can find.